Yo, what's up, guys? Mike Thomas, aka the Young Churchly here, and I'm back once again today with Twitch chat. They're still over here. We are still live at twitch.tv/ChurchlyTTV. Come check us out. We do have fun over there occasionally, but today we have not been having fun. We have been doing some shenanigans. We've been getting up to some shenanigans, and those shenanigans are kind of Jurassic Park-esque, where we have been reviving a deck that was thought dead by the Master Duel community, thought extinct, and that deck is Tearlament. Nothing crazy, just tier. So we've been trying a lot of decks recently because they have decided to hit Dragon Link. Fun fact, they hit Dragon Link again last night. They just decided, you know what, Saronir can just go to 1. Why did they do that? Who knows? But you know, so we've been playing some other decks, and we've been recently playing a little bit of Tearlament on stream, and I'm gonna switch the scene over for you guys for just a second, just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. The win rate you can see over on the side, over there, over that way, is 52-13, and half of those losses were at like 4 in the morning when I was falling asleep and playing very badly. Like, at least half of those losses were to just me like saying, oopsie poopsie, I clicked, send tier cash off of Rhino Heart because I thought I was resolving Kit Kalos. And, yeah. This deck is way better than I thought it was going to be. I've just been kind of playing it for fun, and it's been doing very well. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys, the deck list and talking about some variants as well, because I think this deck is actually really good, and you might still have it. And if you are like me and you're a Dragon Link fanatic, you might need to find other decks on Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, because they've been hitting us so hard. But anyway, the intro's been going kind of long, so very quickly, I need you to do 2 things before continuing the video. First, remember to pause the video and like, comment, subscribe, etc. Second, download the Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck Tracker for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. It is very, very useful. It is a fantastic tool, especially in a deck like Tearlament, so that you know when you get down to like 7 cards in deck, what tiers are still in your deck. So very useful. It also adds like really cool features like import, export, deck list, share with friends, and also allowing you to track your stats over a long number of games so that you know exactly how busted your deck is. So let's just hop into this. You guys aren't here for that. I will do quickly. Follow the account on Master Duel. This is our ID. People keep doing it. Just go follow the account. But anyway, you guys aren't here for any of that. So here's our deck. We lovingly named it Tim Allen Noises because like why is Tier doing well? Why are we playing Tier? So Tim Allen Noises, very good deck. As usual, we are going to be going through this in the only way I know how, because we cannot sort decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. Please add that as a feature, Konami. I am begging you. But pretty straightforward. We played 3 Rhino Heart, obviously. It's the heart. You normal summon it. And then your 1 Havness, as Konami has mandated, and 2 Sharon. Yeah, pretty straightforward. Nothing really interesting there. And then we played the 1 Tier Cash as well, because this is the only card that says Tearlament on it that we've gotten in a while. So this is the new one. This is kind of why this deck is like actually kind of like playable. Is Tier Cash is a pretty good card. So we played Tier Cash, and now I do want to mention that this is still a Tearlament deck. A lot of people in chat like see the unicorns and they're like, oh, we're playing Tearlament Cash Tira. We're not playing Tearlament Cash Tira. They're just unicorns in my tier deck because it can search birth. That's the only reason this is here. That it's like I'm not even playing Tomahawk. I'm not even doing that build of the deck. Like so these are just there. But we do play a small cash package. We play 1 Fenrir, obviously, to search tier cash. So if you saw our Manadium deck profile from the other day, it's the same idea. So just like how in the Manadium deck you can play Fenrir to search Scare Cash, because that is a way to go into Lightheart for free. This is a way to get into a tier monster for free. So kind of just like a neat little synergy. And then we do play Unicorn with the 1 copy of Birth that they allow us to play, because you do mill cards, so maybe you'll mill into a Fenrir into tier cash, or tier cash mill into something, and it's just there for that. So it's just kind of whatever on its own. There is another build of this deck that I will go over later in the video, like once I've gotten through this deck list, that does focus a little bit more on this synergy, and I'll go through and like kind of explain the difference later. But those are the two core engines. Everything else is just kind of like good cards, like just that we play. You play the shufflers. We still play the shufflers. These cards are crazy. Please do not cut them. Some people cut them. Please do not cut these cards. They're very, very good. I'm playing one Magnemut, one Druis Worm in this list, just because a lot of other people are also playing tier on the ladder right now, I've noticed. So it's good to have those for the mirror match. They're also level 6 bodies, so that you can go into stuff like Beatrice. Pretty nice. It helps into Math Mech. It helps into a lot of matchups. But it's kind of cool because we do play Destrudo, the Lost Dragon's Fission, in this deck. Just as a free extender that you can mill. And sometimes, like when you just play just these two together, like sometimes you open both of them and you summon your Magnema on the opponent's turn as a DD Crow, and then you have nothing to search and you feel kind of sad. So sometimes you can search the Destrudo, and that's pretty cool. I like that. That's not an intended synergy, it's just there. So very cool. So I guess that also covers the fact we play Destrudo. Obviously we play Fairy Tale Snow. This card should be banned. I don't know why it's legal. And then for the only other outlier that you might have already noticed, we play one Visa Starfrost. I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna lie. This is kind of a meme. I think that you can like not play this card and be totally fine, but I wanted to experiment with it because we were playing the Vanadium deck recently, and I thought that it was kind of fun. And this card's been okay. Like, there's some cool synergies that you can do with it. Like, for example, I think like the obvious synergy is Visas plus Fenrir. You special Fenrir, you add tier cash, and then you say, uh-oh, I drew 3 Ash Blossoms and a Max C. I have to pass now, right? Or Ash Blossoms may be a bad example, but like, what's the useless card? I drew 3 Super Poly Trivi Karma. There we go. So you say, what do I do? And you say, okay, well, one of those Super Polys is actually Visa Starfrost. I'm going to Visa Starfrost pop the Fenrir, and now I can special summon my tier cash, and the tier cash is going to mill 3 cards, and because we're just better at the game, we're going to hit like Havnish, Sharon Solik or something like that, and then you're off to the races. So kind of a cool synergy there. It's also nice because it lets you go into your Baron pretty easily, like without having to mill the Destrudo or anything like that, or summon like an Ash Blossom. Kind of neat. Like, it's just a neat little synergy. But like, that's kind of the idea, is that like eventually you'll mill into like Ash Blossom, and you want to make a Baron, you want to have like a real like end board. So one of the things you can do is, like, if you mill this, you can go into Vicious Astrolabe with Cross Sheep, trigger the Cross Sheep, and just summon back whatever you mill. It's kind of useful. And then, like, because you have a Vicious Astrolabe and a Cross Sheep that are just chilling there, you can go into Sprite Elf and protect the Baron. And then if you have a Maxi in your hand, you can like protect that. So like, there's some neat little synergies here. It's not like perfect or anything, but it works. You could probably like optimize that a little bit further. Like, that stuff isn't mandatory. But I've been liking it, so we've kept it in. That's pretty much it for the monsters. I guess I'll talk about the defensive cards because there's not that many. We just played 3 Maxi, 3 Ash. This deck feels pretty okay into opposing Maxi, so I'm not like going crazy on like countering Maxi. Like, we're not playing Called By, we're not playing Cross Out. Like, I don't really care. You can Maxi me, like, that's fine. So just these 6. Frankly, you could probably cut the Ashes if you wanted to. But for the spell cards, we played the 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Foolish Burial Goods, obviously, because this deck wants to send cards to the graveyard. We played 2 Grief. This card is really, really good. I kind of wish that I was playing 3. But I cut it because I wanted to play the funny Vicious, or Visa Starfrost Vicious Astrolabe package. So like, Grief, very good card. Something that I don't think people realize about this card is that this card is basically Rhoda for the deck. You can summon literally anything out of your deck. You can also summon from the graveyard. So this card is Monster Reborn, it's Rhoda, and it's Emergency Teleport all in one card, and it's kind of situational. But kind of the way that you get started when you open Grief is you just summon Rhino Heart and you send the Rhino Heart. And then you just summon it back by pitching a tier card out of your hand. But that also works very well when you open the Fenrir, because you can go like Fenrir, add the tier cache, and then that gives you the card to pitch. Similarly, you can start with Rhino Heart, for example, and like maybe it gets impermed, and then you can go Grief, special summon tier cache, mill 3 cards, send the Rhino Heart, and then maybe you pitch a Havness out of hand or something like that. You know, there's a lot of applications. It's Tearlament. It's not linear. That you'll figure it out. Pearl Rhino, obviously. Wraithsoth, obviously. It's just more copies of Fenrir and tier cache. 3 Scream. This card is broken. Please do not cut this to any lower than 3. This card is the best card in the deck. We already talked about Birth. Other defensive cards, we played 3 Super Poly. This card seems really, really good right now. This card is like, every time I've drawn this card, I think I've won the duel. I don't think I've lost a game where I've drawn this and resolved it. So like, this card's broken. Heartbeat, that MST, I guess. Fun thing about Heartbeat, though, that we found out that I can bring up is that apparently this has a second, like a secret effect, that this card is actually Twin Twister if you control Visa Starfrost. I had no idea, because like that came up once where I had a Visa Starfrost on the field, and then I activated Heartbeat, and then it said select a card, and I said okay, and then it said select a card, and then I said okay, and this card's really broken. So really funny interaction there. So you know what, YOLO. But it just gets the traps out of graveyard. That's why it's in the deck, basically. And then for the traps, we play 1 Meta Noise, 1 Sulic, and 1 Crime. You don't need to play multiples of any of them because you can search all of them. They all have good graveyard effects, and you're kind of hurting for graveyard effects because they hit all of our tier names, so we play all of them now. Also, we play the 1 Trivy Karma. This card's broken. It's just better than the Rainbow package. Because if you didn't already know, Trivy Karma, usually with Trivy Karma, all it does is add Pearl Rhino, so that's all people really think that it does, is it adds like the field spells. It can add any card that mentions Visa Starfrost, actually. So that means that it can search Scream, it can search Grief, it can search Pearl Rhino. It cannot search Wraithsoft for some reason. It can search Heartbeat, it can search Meta Noise, it can search Crime, it can search Sulic, it can search literally all of the cards, so that's very, very cool. So this card's very, very solid. Also, since I guess I just went through this, all of them have effects where they can all trigger if you control Visa Starfrost. So that's come up a few times where I've been hand trapped like a million times, and like normally I would just pass. But instead I just summoned Visa Starfrost, and it's like, oh, that's a tier name, set all my cards. And I was able to play with my back row, and I won anyway. So shout out to Visa Starfrost, best card ever. It's also a level 6, which lets you make Baron. Like this card isn't here for the bit, but like, the more I talk about it, the more reasons there are, like legitimate reasons to keep it in the deck. So maybe try it. I don't know. This deck's goofy. We'll go into the extra deck. It's pretty much a normal tier extra deck, except for the Visa stuff. Mud Dragon, Kit Kalos, Garura, Dragostapella, your Rukalos, and your Kaleido Heart. You know, all things that you expect to see. We threw in Vicious Astrolabe. It's very funny. Yeah. We play the 1 Baron, obviously, the Dweller, the Redoer, Beatrice, Zeus, Cross Sheep for the Vicious Astrolabe plays, Dark Charmer, and Spread Elf. One thing that is notably missing in this extra deck, which I noticed like maybe half an hour ago, is that I'm not playing Baguska. This card's pretty good. It's not in my extra deck. Instead, there's a Cross Sheep and a Vicious Astrolabe. And there's no Rhoda in my deck. So maybe if you want to play like a slightly like less goofy build of this deck, you know, like I'm just going to quickly save this. Maybe just take just you know, maybe just do that. And then like you have 1 free extra deck slot. I don't even know what it would be. Maybe it'd be like what do I even put in here? I don't know. Like, Blue Eyes Ultimate. You know, I can't even spell Ultimate. You know, maybe you just throw in Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. You know, who knows? Maybe you put in Dragon Master Knight. Who knows what the last slot would be? But yeah, that's kind of the deck. I said that I would go over a variant real quick, and I should have pulled this up before I started recording this video, but you know what? You guys are fine. Like, everybody appreciates a little bit of jank in a Trishula video, because that's how we get on stream, and you're just preparing yourself for the stream. Yeah. Perfect. So I want to just give a quick shout out to another creator, a very good player as well, who got top 4 at the World Championships for Master Duel. Shout outs to my friend Judy Wagio, who is a very good Brazilian player. Check him out if you speak Portuguese. But we can just quickly switch over here. This was his deck list that he played recently, and this is what kind of like made me want to just like mess with tier, is that I've seen other people doing this on the ladder too, where people are currently playing a Tomahawk package in tier because any 2 level 7 monsters, goes into Tomahawk, and apparently because Tomahawk is a wind and all the tokens are winds, you can summon area here, I'll pull it up in game so you guys can see actually. You can summon the Wind Charmer. I think her name is Area. No, it's Win. Win the Wind Charmer. So Win the Wind Charmer is a generic that takes a wind, and they also play Shinobi Insect. I think you can also play like Harpy Dancer or something too, but like I think this is technically the good one because it like kind of does something. Like it can't be targeted for attacks or something goofy like that. So like you can play those, and then that's 2 different wins to make Curious with, and that's just like any 2 level 7 monsters. So like in that build of the deck, they go a little bit harder on the on the Cash Terra synergies, and they go a little bit crazy. I'll go back to showing his deck list because his deck list looked pretty solid. He was also playing the Shadal stuff in the deck. I'm not a big fan of the Shadal cards. I don't really love the Sea Serpent guy, the Sea Mare. But I mean, you can play it. It's it's fine. It's whatever. But kind of like the idea is just that like you're still playing tier, but like sometimes you can just say, "Oops, I have Curious. I'm gonna send whatever." But I think the reason he plays the Sea Mare is he's also playing Tidal, because Tidal is also a Foolish Burial. That card is like very, very funny, because if you just pitch it plus any water, you can send any card. I think it's any card, maybe it's any monster from your deck to the graveyard, and that's hilarious. So shout outs to Tidal. So this is technically a Dragon Link video, I guess. But then it's also level 7 bodies, so you can summon it out and do the Tomahawk stuff. So like the synergies are there, like for the deck. I think that this build is cool. I was going to test it, but I found out that I did not have Curious on my account and I didn't want to craft it, so I just played the build that I showed you guys. I think that this build that I'm showing you guys now is actually a little bit more consistent. Like I think it's a little bit better overall because there's less like of a gimmick with the deck list, with it not really focusing on the Tomahawk stuff. But like I decided to throw in a gimmick anyway with the Visa Starfrost. So you know what? Shout outs to Yu-Gi-Oh content creators. But anyway, this video is getting a little bit rambly, so I'm just gonna call it here. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and yeah. I'll see you guys in the next video.